We have managed to win yesterday as well. What a small total, 216. This guy, yeah, Kuldeep Yadav is just, he is in a great form.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Padma. So let's begin. I'm going to read the text about human towers and the game called, there's a sport called castling. I don't know. Yeah. They make castles, human castles. Yeah. In Spain. Have you ever seen that on TV or on YouTube? Yeah. Earlier, it used to happen here at Pulpur on the day of the Holi or the next day after Holi. But I don't know, the government banned it, and they don't take place anymore. It was great fun. Pulpur area, the Choraha, at the Choraha, hundreds and thousands of people would gather. No, I was never so agile. Agile means agile. If agile person can participate in this kind of stuff to go on the top, they need to be flexible, fit, and all that. I was not so agile to participate. I don't know. I didn't have the confidence. I never participated. Wanted to, but didn't have the confidence.
Where are you, sir?
Yes.
Where are you? Sir is in the class. Yes, in class, but what's the picture? Back you. Yes, sir.
Background.
Background.
The background. The background.
It's
The
look like
background.
hospital. In the background, sir, I can't understand.
Yeah. What's this background, guys? I don't know. What is
It's
it?
look like the hospital, sir.
Looks like
Because there are a stretcher.
maybe I should change. Don't want to be in a hospital. Okay. This doesn't look very cool. This is like Okay. So we have Redmi Note 9. Who is it? Redmi Note 9. Zoom user is Shahrukh. Shams. Okay. Okay, guys, let's start reading. I have read the first part. Now we're going to read the second. From the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the top. Everybody is corrupt from the top to the bottom. From the bottom to the top. Everybody is corrupt. From the bottom to the top. The oldest and biggest castlers. So all those people who participate in making this castle, they are called castlers. So there are very big castlers needed for the base, a heavy, stable base. The oldest and biggest castlers push together around the bottom of the tower. Hundreds go there at the bottom to give a good foundation, to give a good base, a stable base. When you can put your mobile phone in your pocket. A nice phone though. Whose is this? What make is this phone? BlackBerry. Okay, let me see. Okay. Looks cool. I see lots of scratches.
Yes.
Is this on the screen or on the screen guard? The screen. Okay. It looks very different. Looks very, very eye-catching. And these lines, they are the damage. Okay. BlackBerry. There was a time BlackBerry was associated with class. Today, BlackBerry has been replaced by iPhones. Nowadays, people who want to show off their wealth and class, but BlackBerry is not as fancy as it used to be. There was a time BlackBerry was the phone for all the rich people, and now iPhone is the phone for the rich people. Now, then BlackBerry still. BlackBerry is not very popular, not very common. Yeah, not very popular. iPhone has replaced BlackBerry. The oldest and biggest castlers push together around the bottom of the tower to make it strong. Why do they push together? Why do they push together, the oldest and biggest castlers? To make the base strong, to make the bottom strong, okay? To make it stronger or to make it strong. To infinitive, for purpose. You will hear a lot of times, okay, both of you guys, Lucky, Arsalan, get back to your lesson. The oldest and biggest castlers, the oldest and biggest When they have a team, they select the biggest ones. Move a little bit to your left. Yeah, better. So the oldest ones, the biggest ones, they stay at the bottom. They push together to make the bottom strong. The smallest and lightest children go higher up. The heaviest are at the bottom and the lightest is at the top, and the rest are in the same order. The smaller, bigger ones, the heavier ones are lower. The lighter ones are at the top. Okay. The smallest and lightest children go higher up. The child at the very top, the child at the very top. The child at the very top, remove the word very. The child at the top is called the anexaneta. The child at the very top is called the anaxaneta. Anaxaneta, the rider. In English, anaxaneta translates into rider, the rider. Okay. When they get there, it's a Spanish word. When they get there, they who? The anaxaneta, when the rider, the smallest child, when they get there at the top and put their hand up their team can win. So this is what they need to do. They need to get at the top and put their hands up, okay, or maybe one hand up. Their team can win. This is the game. They have to build a tower, and the tower will be completed when the anaxaneta, the rider, the child at the very top, not only stands, puts his hand or her hand up. Everyone is nervous, says Carla. A new anaxaneta. She is a new anaxaneta. It's my first competition. It is Carla's first competition. Everyone is nervous. Her mother is even more nervous. Her mother is even more nervous. When Carla and Mariona climb, I watch their every move. Imagine as a mother, you have your young kids, 5, 6, 7-year-old children, climbing such a tall, human tower. How tall can they be? 10 meters. They can be 10 meters tall. 12 meters. 12 meters, nearly 50 feet. More than 50 feet. Okay. 12 threes are 36 and, okay, 42. Okay. 42 feet, nearly 42 feet tall. Your child is climbing a human tower as high as 42 feet. Your heart will be beating, will be beating so hard in your chest, because you never know when your child, the tower will collapse, will fall. Take a look at the photo. A falling tower. See, this is how people fall. Look at this man who has no balance. He's hanging up in the air and he's holding other people. And look, the people at the bottom. So people fall and they get injured as well. So imagine as a mother, when your small kids are climbing, how nervous you will be. Her mother is even more nervous. When Carla and Mariona climb, I watch their every move. She says, I can't not look. How is it possible that I will not look? I have to. My child is there climbing. I watch their every move. I can't not look. So you live in a joint family, and there are some members in the family you are not very happy with. You are not very fond of them. One of those people you're not very fond of, one of them cooks something new, tries a new recipe, right? And brings it to you. You say, I'm sorry, I have a stomach ache, I can't try. You refuse because you're not very fond of them. You don't like them very much. You make an excuse. Sorry, I can't try, I can't eat it. I'm sorry, I have a stomach ache. I don't feel like putting anything in my mouth. You make an excuse and you refuse to taste it. Imagine your little daughter who is 7 years old tries something, a recipe. Can you not taste? Is it possible for a father? I can't not taste when my little daughter cooks something. I can't not taste. You just can't make an excuse. You cannot do that. You have to taste it. Whatever she cooks, she is your 7-year-old little girl, and she's tried something in the kitchen, and you have to be a very insensitive dad to say, sorry, darling, I can't try it. I can't taste it. You have to be very insensitive. You will definitely taste it, right? You can't not taste. Here, she says, I can't not look. My child is there climbing the tower. It's not possible not to look. I will definitely look. It can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. The people towers often fall. The people towers often fall. The towers often fall. And when a 12-meter tower collapses, it's a long way down for those at the top. Okay, when do you get hurt more? When you fall from a small height or when you fall from a big height? Right. So those who are on the second layer in the tower, they will not get much hurt, okay, because they're not falling from a big height. But those who are at the top or near the top, they are falling off a height of 12 meters. So it's going to be more dangerous for them. It can be dangerous. The people towers often fall. And when a 12-meter tower collapses, it's a long way down for those at the top. It's a long way down, okay, to the bottom. It's a long way down for those at the top. So they can get hurt very badly. But usually what happens, that because they do not fall directly at the bottom, okay, because they collapse and they kind of roll down over other people's body. Usually what happens when the tower collapses, it's very funny to see that. Okay, maybe we should watch a few YouTube videos about these towers collapsing. When they collapse, then people at the top do not directly fall at the bottom or on the ground. They fall on the body of other people below them, and they fall on the body of people below them, and this is how they roll down. So usually they don't get very badly hurt, but sometimes coincidences, that angle of falling and the impact of the falling is rather intense, and sometimes there are serious injuries. But usually people fall and they get slightly injured. Somebody gets a twisted elbow or twisted shoulder or something like that, which people overcome, get over in like in 15 days or in a month or something like that. But that's a small price to pay when you are participating in such a dangerous competition. There are people who participate in bulls fight as well and bulls ride as well, isn't it? So Spain is known for these things. Spain is a very unique and interesting country. It has a very interesting past as well, history as well, if you read about, Spain. And it is one of those rare European countries which is very warm. Europe is, Spain is very warm. It has very sunny days, just like the Spanish people. They are fair complexion like us, not like Europeans fair complexion. They have dark hair like us. They look very like us. North Indians. Okay. Now, it's a long way down for those at the top. When a 12-meter tower, a 12-meter tower collapses. Collapse means, you understand, fall, right? When it falls, it's a long way down for those at the top. Now, everyone is important. Mariana 8 became an exenata when she was 5. See, 5-year-old girl climbs. But the good thing with the 5-year-old girl is she doesn't have a lot of body weight. So when she falls, people try and catch her. Okay. The only problem is if she falls on somebody who is not aware, and then if she falls on the hard part of their body, like head or something, there can be some serious injuries, right? Otherwise, if she falls on anyone who is watching, then she will not get hurt much because people will take care of her. She won't be very heavy. Mariana 8, it's a matter of courage rather than strength. Mariana 8 became an exenata when she was 5. She likes drawing. She likes drawing, eating pasta, and climbing. It's her favorite thing to do. She's never afraid. She's never afraid. She is never afraid. Is it obvious to you? Afraid is an adjective. She is never afraid. She has amazingly cold blood. When people get angry or get excited emotionally, we say they are hot-blooded. Okay, that's why they get very excited easily, emotionally, charged, get angry. What do you think about Kohli? He has a cold blood, or he has cold blood, or he is hot-blooded? Yeah, it means he has hot blood, right? He doesn't have cold blood. And MSD is, he is cold-blooded. He has cold blood. It means he doesn't give into his emotions very easily. He doesn't get emotionally very charged easily. He controls his emotions. In one of his interviews, he said that when the situation is bad, instead of reacting to the situation, I'm thinking what I can do to help the situation. And in that moment, I thought that's exactly how I think. When a situation is bad, then it's not that I never react. There are people in front of whom I give my very, very, I will say raw reactions. My wife is one of them. I show my raw reactions, raw, emotions to her. Elsewhere, wherever I am, somehow I feel that I have a responsibility on me, whether I'm in my class, whether I'm in my family with people. And I think when the situation goes out of hand, when the situation is bad, I quickly switch to that mode where I start damage control. I start thinking what I can do to help the situation, instead of taking it to, worse, making it worse. The other day, I went to this Bazaar Samiti. Did I tell you that story yesterday? That the Khirawala got really angry, right? He thought that I was insulting him. Because everybody started looking at us both, I was shouting at him, he was shouting back at me. All right, my friend was there. It could have easily gotten out of hand. We could have started exchanging blows and everything. But in that moment, I realized this guy has misunderstood me. He's reacting because he thinks I'm insulting him because of his profession. खीरा बेच रहे हैं तो क्या समझ लिए हैं? This is how he this comment, when he made this comment, sabji bech rahe hain to kya lallu chakku hai? And I thought, oh, wait for a second. I'm not saying anything because you are selling vegetables. He calmed down because of that comment. People around him who were on his side, they also said to him, shut up now, okay? They said to him, because they realized what I said, it had value. Okay, so cold blood. I don't know if I can say I have cold blood. I don't think so. But yes, I can say that when a situation is bad, I try and think what I can do to help the situation. I think like a guardian now, I think. She's never afraid. She has amazingly cold blood. Normally, people react when they are in that kind of situation. Now, Shoaib Akhtar is bowling bouncers at you, and he is swearing at you, he is threatening you, he is winding you up, he is challenging you, and you are Rahul Dravid, you say, okay. When he comes next delivery, you again do this. You don't react to what he is doing. Right? It was very easy to be Yuvraj Singh and try and hit a six. But Rahul Dravid, he said, I don't care. Have you ever seen Rahul Dravid getting very excited? Very rarely, No matter what the bowler is doing, or bowler did, or bowler said, he had his natural game. Imagine when he does that. But the bowler will think, I don't have a chance. This guy doesn't react. I tried and provoke him, made comments, threatened him, bowled bouncers. Again, he is trying to duck and he's trying to defend. So when you behave this way, then it means you have cold blood. You don't react angrily, emotionally. You use your brain. She has amazingly cold blood. Her father says. That's not true for him. What is not true for him? She has amazingly cold blood, her father says. That's not true for him. His father doesn't have cold blood. This is how you should understand, link the things, okay? His father I'm saying. Her father doesn't have cold blood. Means he gets emotional, he gets excited emotionally, right? He cries every time his daughters climb. Now, this text makes it easy for you that somebody who is emotional doesn't have cold blood. So that's why I'm not saying I have cold blood, because I'm a very emotional person. But when the situation is bad, then suddenly I get in the damage control mode and I start thinking, what can I do to help the situation wherever I am? He cries every time his daughter climbs, every time his daughters climb. He cries every time his daughters climb. Okay. In one competition, the tower fell twice before Mariana could get to the top. So 2 times the tower failed, collapsed. Finally, Mariana got to the top. Okay, but before that, the tower collapsed twice. Her father ran to her and found her crying. I'm not crying because I'm hurt. I'm crying because I'm angry. Now, for a young girl to give this reaction is not very common. She was crying because she was angry that the tower collapsed. I'm not crying because I'm hurt. I'm crying because I'm angry, she shouted. Her 600 teammates heard her and decided to have one more go. Instead of accepting defeat, they decided to have one more go. They decided to try one more time. They decided to have one more go. In this sentence, in this phrase, to have one more go, what is the part of a speech of the word go? Part of a speech of the word go.
Verb.
to have one more go. Listen, if you put all your focus on the word go, you will not get to the right answer. You have to look at the phrase. You have to look at the other words around. And then you can decide whether it is a noun or a verb or an adjective or an adverb or preposition or what. One more. After one more, say anything. Please go ahead. One more apple. One more cup. One more chair. One more boy. One more mistake. One more.
No.
Did he say
It is
girl?
a noun.
He said one more girl. Who was
It's a
that?
noun.
You. So go is a obvious. They decided to have one more go. They decided to try one more time. You did your UPSC exam twice and you could not qualify. Okay, you couldn't get through the preliminary. Your parents encouraged you to, have one more go. They encouraged you to have one more go. You tried 2 times. You could not even get through the PE. All right. Then they said, give it one more try. Go and try one more time. They encouraged you to have one more go. To have a go means to try. Have a go. Have a go means to try. Have one more go. Try one more time. To have a go. If you remove one more and put a there, the sentence is they decided to have a go. They decided to have one more go. Okay. They decided to try it one more time. Okay. So you go to a mela, to a, what do you call it? Some sort of, a mela is a mela. Okay. A festival type of thing. And there you see a very special type of jhula, swing, okay, ride, a very special ride, unique. You are a very nervous person. You don't like rides. But this time you say, I will have a go, or I will have one more go. What will you say? I will have a go. I will have a means I will try it. I will have a go. Okay. So they decided to have one more go. This go is not a verb, Padma. Okay, one more go. After one more, you cannot say a verb. This one more thing, anything, one more thing, one more chair, one more pen, one more boy, one more fan, one more mistake, one more teacher, one more girl, as he said. Yeah. Okay. One more go. So this go is a noun. So clearly, if somebody tries and learns the Hindi of one word at a time, they will never understand the meaning of this sentence, because here the phrase is have a go, have one more go. Okay, have the last go, have the last go. Okay, it means to try for the last time. Okay. So her 600 teammates heard her and decided to have one more go. And Mariana got to the top. She got to the top. Got to the top. If you replace the verb got, which verb can you write for the same meaning? And Mariana got to the top. If you don't want to use the word got, which other verb can you use for the same meaning? Mariana? Yes, say it out loud. Reached the top. Two will be removed. Reached the top. She reached the top. Got to the top means reach the top. Reach to, no, reach the top. Okay. Mariana got to the top. Get to means to reach. Get to means to reach. She got to the top. Castles show that every single person in the community has an important role to play. Castles show that every single person in the community has an important role to play. The big, strong men at the bottom are no more important than the women and boys in the middle. Okay, oh, we are the strongest, we are the most important. Okay, make the tower alone. They will not be able to do it. They will need the help of the women and the young kids. Okay, so they're important, of course, but they're not more important. If the women say or the kids say, oh, without us it is not complete, then go ahead, make the tower alone. Only with women and children, not possible again. Everybody plays a role, and a significant role, an important role. The big, strong men at the bottom are no more important than the women and boys in the middle. And they can't win without the little girl at the top. So everybody's role is important, like in our community, like in our society. Highest and best. The winning tower isn't always the highest. Just because you built a taller tower than other people, you don't become the automatic winner. No, victory is not decided by the height of the towers. The winning tower isn't always the highest tower. No, it also depends on how complicated they are. Which tower will win depends on two things: the height and how complicated they are. So we are going to watch this, towers in Spain on YouTube. I'm pretty sure there are some available. So the most complicated tower of the day, Carla climbed the highest and most complicated tower of the day. So she was the winner. Her tower was the winner because she climbed. B is silent, everybody. B is silent. Climbed. She climbed the highest and most complicated tower of the day. Of the day means on that day. Okay. In her first competition. It was her first competition and she won because her tower was the tallest, the highest tower, and it was the most complicated. Complicated is clear to understand? Yeah, you guys understand complicated because you are complicated. The Villafranca team were champions. Mariana is getting taller, bigger, and knows. She's getting bigger. She is getting bigger. Here, get means what? If I remove the verb get, which verb will I write for the same meaning? Mariana is getting bigger. Very nice. Any other verb? Mariana is becoming bigger. She is becoming bigger. She is growing bigger. Okay. She is getting bigger. Big is an adjective. Yes. Big is an adjective. So we often use get before adjectives like this. Get angry. Get rich. Transformation. Okay. You are not angry. Then you get angry. You are not rich. Then you get rich. Okay. She's getting bigger and knows she can't be an exeneta for much longer. She knows she has only a couple of years to play this game. She knows she can't be an exeneta for much longer. She's going to start gymnastics soon. Is she afraid of anything? Because if a girl child can climb a 12-meter tall, tower, then people will definitely think that she doesn't have any fears. Is she scared of anything? She thinks for a moment. Getting bad grades at school. Getting bad grades at school. Getting bad results at school. That's what she is afraid of. She doesn't want to get bad grades at school. So this wasn't a very difficult text. I don't know why you guys had any problems at all. It was very easy in my opinion. Now look at this picture here on the left side. Castles score points for how high and for how difficult they are, complicated they are. Look at these three towers. They are more or less the same height, yes or no? And in every picture, you see one of them, the person at the top has his hand up. Can you see that? That's important. Which tower do you think is the most complicated? I agree. It's not easy because each person is alone standing, right? I don't know. Or is the third one most complicated? Because there are people supporting each other like this. Okay. So it depends on how difficult they are to make and how tall they are. So the tallest, the highest tower and the most difficult one, the most complicated one win. Fine, annexionate. I think I would like to watch one or two videos about human castles, Spain, Catalonia, because this is celebrated in, right.
It can be hard designing complex systems if you don't have prior experience. Developer.
It's from the
A castell is a structure formed of human. A castell is a structure formed of human people. It's a human tower. Castells are a Catalan tradition of over 200 years. Today, there are over 80 different colliers or teams spread throughout Catalonia. Every 2 years, we have a competition. The 12 best teams will perform at the concours in Tarragona. I'm proud to be a member of the Castellers de Vilafranca. The Castellers de Vilafranca have won the concours for 7.
Yeah, they are also from Villafranca. Remember the Villafranca team won? So she is that girl. Okay, there are a lot of young kids actually. Okay.
Consecutive times. We hope to make it 8 consecutive victories.
Hey, she looked like the same
For
girl.
7 consecutive times. We are.
Look at her helmet. Exactly the same. Same
But
design.
sir,
See
how
this.
Hope to make it 8 consecutive victories. These are very big structures, very big castles, and they require 300 or 400 people at a time to make these kind of constructions, and they can reach heights of 15 meters.
15 meters. They can
The
reach.
most important thing of when we try to make the castles is obviously the safety of the people involved. We have very small children of the age of 4 or 5 who will climb to the very top of the castle. Everybody is working to make sure that this is the safest possible activity for them. This is very important because occasionally castles will collapse.
Sir, we didn't see the video.
It looks spectacular, but it can be very dangerous. It's quite common for people to break a leg, an arm, shoulder injuries. As the castle progresses, The pressure builds. Everybody is trying to find a little bit of oxygen in the bottom of the castle. There have been times when people have fainted or collapsed, but you still have to keep going because you have the collective responsibility that you don't want to let the team down. You hear the final music that you know the castle is completed. You can relax a little bit, but you still have to concentrate because this is the most dangerous part of the castle, because if you relax too much, the structure can collapse very, very quickly. Why am I a Castelli de Villafranca? This is a very complex question, and I don't really have an answer. You can't explain it. It's impossible to explain. You have to feel it. If you feel it, you understand it.
You can't do this in India for the obvious reasons, right? You can do it in India, but you can't involve girls and women. Here, men are different. Indian men are different. They will never be able to build a successful tower if there are girls there, because their attention will be somewhere else.
Do we even need wallets anymore? You can make all of your payments through just one app. And even
Pastels. What do you think, guys? Do you think in India, is it possible to include girls and children? Children may be included, but girls cannot be included. Why not? Why can women not be part of this in India? Because in India, we men, men are very special in India, right? How does it feel to think this way? लकी सर कहाँ सर नजर सामने आओ सर सामने आओ सर आप भी हो सामने हम लोगों में अकेले हो गए कैसे What is special about Indian men? This is special about Indian men.
We feel that, in the culture where we can't involve those things.
But you have to at least accept one thing. You have to accept at least one thing, that these men are not thinking about things that Indian men think about. That's why they're able to do these things. And there is a reason. Their lifestyle is also different. भूखा आदमी हमेशा किस चीज के बारे में सोचता है? खाने के बारे में सोचता है। जो भरपेट खाना मिलता है, तरह तरह का खाना मिलता है, हर समय खाने के बारे में नहीं सोचता है।
Coge un poco de miedo. Por eso siempre te dicen que no mires, que es mejor que no mires.
Castles. We pronounce it not castles, castles, okay? We were all pronouncing it the wrong way, castles. By the way, this is a short film about Catalonian tradition and all. In the face of oppression of the Catalan people, part of Spain, okay, people have always endured a strong sense of identity. In the past, they were persecuted for even speaking their own language. So people from Catalonia, they were persecuted. They were persecuted for just speaking their own language. It happens. When this ISIS attacked Syria, which people did they target? Whose women they had captured, and they Yazidi women. Which women were they were taken hostage as sex slaves by the ISIS people? And in Iraq and Iran, in Iraq mainly, they wanted their own country, those people, and they were, of course, targeted by the ISIS. I think it now some speaking practice for tomorrow. What you guys will do, you have to interview one of the annexionatas. So you choose your partner, okay, and decide mutually who will be the journalist and who will be the annexionata. One person will be a journalist and the other person will be an annexionata. All right. And you have to design your own interview. What questions you will ask, how you will answer those questions. You guys will together decide everything. Is that okay? Two people. So choose your partner, who your partner is going to be. One of you will be a journalist and the other will be an annexionata. Role play. Work with a partner. Student A, you are a journalist. Interview an annexionata. You can use ideas from 3 to help. Okay. You can use ideas from 3 to help. Otherwise, you can decide your own interview. What questions you will ask, how you will answer them. Together, you will decide. So, shall I expect some interesting conversations tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you guys are all part of the group. Okay. So, I'm not asking you who your partner is. You guys decide, okay, who your partner is going to be. And I want to see a good performance tomorrow. So today you talk to your partner and together write the question, think of the responses, what you will say, how you will ask your questions, what will the annexionata say as a response. It will be decided by you and your partner mutually. Okay, so you guys have some time tonight to practice. Tomorrow you have to perform. And if nobody comes prepared, I will understand that you guys are very low on motivation. Because this is going to be fun to do an interview. You see, if I were a student, I would be excited. What community traditions are there in your country, guys? Are there some community traditions in your country? What community traditions do we have?
We have culture, food.
Community traditions. Yes, yes. Find out more about one and tell the class. Okay. So go ahead. Talk about any traditions community traditions you have.
Well, like Onam, the boat race.
That's not part of this part. That's from south. Okay. So let Padma talk about it. You talk about something which is cultural, traditional here for community tradition of this part of India. India is so, diverse, right? So you talk about some. Is there some community traditions we have?
Yes, sir.
Chhat can be a good example for what a community tradition is, because it is not celebrated all over India. Right? It's a very regional celebration. We can talk about this. Any other that you can think of? Padma, is there any community tradition that you can think of in your part of India? Somebody was talking about Onam.
Bengal, there are some traditional like Durga Puja, get up Dress traditional on the stage.
Ram Leela. This is a very, very common, community tradition in this part. In the month of October, I think, in the month of October, during the Shara, after the Shara, I don't know when, but during the Shara, in many villages, people participate in acts, dramas. They go on the stage and they play stories from their mythology, where some will play Ravan kidnapping Sita, and then Ram will try and kill Ravan. Eventually, Ram dies on the 9th or 10th day of the Shara. So this is a community tradition that is very, very common in the north of India. Okay. Any other community tradition that comes to your mind? Go ahead. Throughout the month, right? Yes. And on the last day, it is Eid. Exactly. People visit each other's houses, but this comes as a festival. This is celebrated as a community tradition, and a festival are slightly different thing. Because it will become global. Eid is a global thing.
In Maharashtra, the Ganesh Puja and the Nawari Sari, the women from Maharashtra, they wear the Nawari Sari in the Ganesh Puja.
Okay. So if you are not able to think of anything, that tells you that how we have lost our traditions. If you're unable to think of anything as community, that we don't have any community traditions here, we just have celebrations of festivals, right? We have the Shara, Eid, Holi, and all these things, right? So these things are festivals. But what I talked about, Ram Leela, that's not a festival. That's a community tradition. Festival is the Shara. But people do this. They play, dramas. They act. They play those characters from mythology, right? Lots of people come to watch. So that is not part of the festival. That is a tradition, something people do. And there is a certain time when they do it. Like this Catalonian tradition of making castles, okay? This happens in a certain time in the year. It doesn't happen any day, any month. That can be called a tradition. Or I will say, in your community, Ya Ali Hassan, Ya Ali Hassan, that is a tradition, community tradition. Lots of people come out and they show how good they are with lathis, with the talwars. They show their skills. For this, some people prepare for months and months. And in some places, people who perform well are rewarded by some money, and some souvenirs are given to these people. So that is a community tradition. Understand? A certain group of people celebrate in a certain place. See, human beings have developed. Show me one country where they are doing this lathi and talwar. Show me. Come on. Show me. Iraq. Iraq is a Muslim country. Show me people doing that. Stupid fellow. This is why your ignorance is sometimes irritating. The festival is global. Muharram is a global festival. People all over the world, those Muslims, celebrate Muharram. But this, what I'm talking about, showing their skills with lathi and talwar, this is not global. This is a community tradition. This is done here and some parts of India, and maybe some parts of Pakistan, because Pakistan used to be India. Okay, we have a lot of similarities. So that is a community tradition. Muharram is a festival, but this is not Muharram.
Not a festival, actually. Sir is right.
Festival is supposed to be a happy occasion. I agree.
Yes,
so
yes.
Muharram should not be called a festival technically, because it is mourning. It is mourning. MOARNING. Mourning. Mourning means M-O-R-N-I-N-G, morning. Spelling is the same, but mourn means to feel sad, to mourn. M-O-R-N, mourn. Mourn means to cry, to be sad because something bad has happened. So it is not a festival of celebration. It is a festival of mourning. Yeah, community tradition. Talk about this. Okay, in this area, we have this, or you could talk about Urs Ka Mela. That is a community tradition here in this part. Okay, and community tradition as a group of people celebrate it. Now, it will vary from place to place. If you understood what I said, that Ram Navami is different. The Shahra is a festival, Ram Navami is a festival, but Ram Leela is not a festival. It is a community tradition people have been carrying on for a long time. And they do it, you can call it community tradition. These pandals that we make, that is a community tradition. Okay.
And sir, Chhat is festival or community?
Again, a festival, but in a small area, regional festival. It was only celebrated in Bihar, UP. Okay. Now it is going global because Biharis are everywhere and they're celebrating it. So people like it. So they're also joining, you see. But basically, it was only limited to.
Sir, long gone, Muslims Imam were wearing in the Saudi. This is a part of culture.
It is part of culture, but when we say community tradition, okay.
It's a traditional in Saudi.
Yes. Every place has their own traditions. Every place, human beings love traditions. Okay. You see, when you go to a school or college or an institute and they make you sign this paper, they make you sign that paper, they ask you to fill in a form, you feel like you are doing something big, and you feel great about it. You're taking admission there. So human beings have this psychology, we like following, doing things which sound like rituals, and traditions, just we enjoy keeping them.
There is a tradition of tomato.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But you are talking about all over the world. What about your own community tradition in Bihar Sharif? Talk about that, please. Okay. India is a diverse country. Every small pocket of India, every small region of India has their own tradition, right? Their own community tradition. For example, Dandiya. Dandiya is a community tradition, but now it is becoming popular in Bihar Sharif. In last 5-6 years, they have been organizing things like this. But when I was growing up, there was no Dandiya. Sorry. At best, some school boys and girls played Dandiya. That's it. There was no such big, celebrations and events like we have nowadays. Thousands of rupees people pay to, buy the tickets to go and play Dandiya there. Yeah, exactly. These are the things that we can talk about. Exactly.
Janmashtami is a traditional.
Janmashtami, I don't know whether you will call it a festival or you will call it a community tradition. I don't know. I think
when you celebrate that's you read today.
Sorry, Hina?
So what we do in Janmashtami?
Asking the wrong person. I don't know much. All I can tell you, I'll tell you my experience with Janmashtami, okay? When I was a child. So one year I saw that everybody who did Janmashtami, okay, got to eat a lot of pedas and sharbat, drink sharbat, eat bua pak, sweets, So next year I remembered it. I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, okay? I remembered it. So next year Janmashtami came, I said to my mom, I also want to do Janmashtami. Guess my motivation? Sweets, pedas, sharbat. So I said, Mummy, I want to do Janmashtami too. My mom was very happy. Oh, my son wants to do Janmashtami. Okay, she agreed and I started. Of course, I got to eat the pedas and the puapas and the different kinds of sweets and
But
the
sir, which is
sarbat.
the festival people break handi?
And then let me tell you I don't know about anything, please. In the afternoon, I said to my mom, I'm very hungry. My mom said, okay, leave your fast. You go and have your meal. So I had it both ways. I enjoyed the perks of the festival and I had my meal as well. Next year, when I said to my mom, I want to do Janmashtami because I wanted the same pedas again. Then my mom said, no, you're not doing it because you can't pull it off because you have to be hungry the whole day. And that's all I know about Janmashtami. You don't ask me anything more about it. I don't know. Okay. I don't know about the handi thing and all. I know in some places they hang the handi and try to break it, making human towers. I know that. But we never did that in Bihar Sharif on Janmashtami. I don't remember ever that kind of celebration. Handi thing happened after Holi, the next day, on the Basiora day. I remember that when I was younger. But again, yeah, that was a community tradition. I don't know when it started and why it stopped. Here in India, things are strange. The government can simply stop you from having a celebration. They'll say no celebration. Your tradition doesn't matter. Okay. So I really don't know much about these things. I don't know so much about why they do it and all that. Maybe like, so community tradition is a regional thing. Look, Spain is a big country, but this is only about Catalonia. It is limited to Catalonia. It is a Catalan tradition. So India is big. So different parts of India have different kinds of traditions. So we are talking about those community traditions that are celebrated in a certain area only. Anyways, time to wrap up. And what are we going to do? Tomorrow, you guys are going to come here with a nice interview. You choose your own partner after the class, message each other, decide who will perform with whom, and prepare your interview with an examiner. You watch so many videos, you read the text. I think you guys know what you're going to ask and what you're going to answer. That's all for today. Thank you. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, sir.
But tomorrow, I think.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
गेट कौन लगाने बोल
Bye-bye. I read your message, Padma.